Hi guys, welcome back again to another sewing tutorial on Children's channel. Thank you so much guys for stopping by. In today's video guys, we'll be learning how to make a crisscross bubu with mesh fabric. If this is what you want to learn, watch to the end, like, share and subscribe. So guys, let's get right into the tutorial. Okay guys, so I'll be drafting the pattern on my pattern paper. Simply because mesh is a very unstable fabric, I wouldn't want us to be struggling trying to highlight on the fabric. Okay, so I established a guideline on my pattern paper. The neck width measurement is 3 inches, and then the neck to shoulder measurement. So this is dependent on where you want your sleeve to stop. So mine will be around my elbow simply because I've calculated my fabric. I wanted it to be more than that, but this is a tutorial, so I worked with 15 inches. You can go beyond that. The shoulder slant 1 inch, and then I linked it to the neck width measurement. So we're drafting the back pattern first. So the neck depth for the back pattern is 1 inch. The sleeve opening I'm working with is 12 inches. If you want your sleeve to be exaggerated more than this, or the opening to be more than this, you can do 14 inches. So I added half an inch to my sleeve opening, making it 12.5 inches, so that the shoulder seam wouldn't eat into the opening. From that point, I went in by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead and create a rectangular line down to the full length of my bubu kaftan. The measurement for the full length is 36 inches. It is also not a standard, and you can see how I eliminated the sharp points around the armhole area. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out the excess pattern paper, as you can see. Okay guys, so you can see that there's a joining at the end of my pattern. This is simply because the pattern itself wasn't long enough for the actual measurements that I want, so I didn't want to exaggerate the measurements, so I had to join with an extension, as you can see. So the front neckline is 9 inches. We'll be creating a V neckline for the front, so I'll be drafting the front and back pattern on this pattern paper. So I'll go ahead and cut out the neck pattern first before cutting out on the front pattern. So on my mesh fabric, I placed my fabric on fold, and then I went ahead to secure it with a pin. In fact, the pin was not just enough, because at some point I was still struggling to still cut out the pattern, so I still added more pins. So I would advise that you add as many pins as possible if you are working with an unstable fabric like mesh, but if it's a stable fabric, you may not really need much pins. So I added more pins, and as I was cutting, I realized that I still needed more pins for my work to be as accurate as I wanted. So I'll go ahead and cut out the excess fabric on the pattern. As you can see, I was still adding more pins so that I won't have any issues, because if there's a fold underneath the pattern, you may have an unstable pattern at the end of your cutting. So if you secure your pattern with as many pins as possible, most especially if you're working with a mesh fabric, you get what you want. So I went ahead to gradually cut out this pattern, and voila, this is the back pattern. So I can now go ahead and detach the pin and then cut out the actual neckline for the front. You have to be very careful so that your scissors doesn't alter your fabric. Okay, so after cutting out on the back, I secured my pattern paper for the front on my fabric placed on fold. And if you notice that the front fabric is much more than the back pattern, so you guys should just stay still, and then you'll see the reason for this. So from the neckline, you go ahead and create a slant, as you can see, and this slant I'm creating with an extension. The extension is like 10 inches shorter than my actual length of the fabric. I don't know if this is making sense. Like this extension from my pattern, you're seeing to the end, that is the width extension. If the total length I'm working with is 36, that extension should be like 26 to 27 approximately, okay, which is about 10 inches or 9 to 10 inches shorter than the actual length of my fabric. Okay, so this is just my own calculation to get what I want. Okay, but just make sure that your extension is very long. It's kind of beautifies it and gives it the actual crisscross that you want. So this is the front pattern, and this is what it looks like, guys. So after cutting out the front pattern, this is the back pattern. You can see the back pattern with its simple neckline. So what I simply did was to assemble my front pattern first on my work table, and then I brought out my back pattern and aligned the shoulder of one side first. So I secured with my pins. It's an unstable fabric, so you'll be needing your pins very handy, and not just if not just little, as many as possible. So I'll also secure the other side as well with my pins. After securing it, as you can see, I'll take it to my sewing machine, and then I'll stitch it by 1/2 inch. Okay, so after stitching it by 1/2 inch on the shoulder, I'll also stitch close up the sides. Okay, so with the way it is right sides facing each other. Okay, so ensure that you place the right side facing each other. You close up the shoulder, and then you close up the sides. So after closing up the shoulder and the side, this is the extension. It is still right sides facing each other. I'll use my pins to join that extension, which is the end part of the extreme, or the end part of the extension. Okay, so just join them together like you're trying to create a circle, or you're trying to wrap yourself. So just join that point together. After joining it, I'll go ahead and use my um, pipe my sleeve. So my sleeve opening is 12 inches, and this strip of fabric is 24 inches. So I'm going to join it first. After joining it, I'll place it on fold, and then I'll go ahead and use it to pipe my sleeve. Okay, so first of all, you close it this way. After closing it, then you will now fold it this way, and then place it on the right side, stitch it by 1/2 inch, and then flip it, more like you're doing a bias. Flip it to the other side and give it a very good press. So you have to use a steam iron to give it that good press so that it relaxes neatly. So this is the sleeve. I've gone ahead to close it, and this is what it's looking like. You hardly tell that there's a closing on that sleeve, simply because we're using a matching fabric for it. Okay, so this is the closed end. So I'll close it this way, and then I'll go ahead and twist it. After twisting it, I'll use the parts, this parts, the part that is not the unfolded part, and then I'll place it from my neckline. Okay, so you have to know the center point of your neckline. So at this point, I went to get my pins. So from that unfolded end, see, I assume that that line is my center line, the center back neckline. So I'm going to place it this way, and then I'll use my pins to join it. So you keep joining it till your instinct tells you that you've gotten to the folded area. Just keep joining, keep joining. Your instincts will guide you. After joining one side, I will also join the other side with my pin. But at this point, you will have to be very careful so that whatever you're doing, it is well aligned. You know, we're looking at aligning 3 fabrics, which is the main fabric and then the folded parts. Okay, so as it is now, I'm trying to ensure that 3 layers are well properly aligned, and then I'll use my pins to hold it. So this particular part needs extreme carefulness. Okay, so you really need to take your time when doing this. So after stitching it, after securing it with my pins, I'll take it to my sewing machine and then stitch it round, and then our crisscross bubu is ready to wear. It's a very easy tutorial, guys. So let me show you guys the after look of bubu, crisscross bubu with mesh. So thank you so much, guys, for watching to the end. Thank you for your previous engagement on my other tutorials. I don't take your love for granted. God bless you. I'll see you in my next tutorial.